Enrada ena yamampani ene Ghana for di eye enkomo ene ti gina so ma woni simbebre e de etu edwa bi ni se me admo china Kutuka International Airport ebi ede atomu schoolfo wo mbeko mampani achechire nyina mu ede ache wo so nyame adom afimpino ene adunu baako wo so be hyase aku school so mampani ede atudwa ene emu se bebre nti radwo yesi nkunya na hwe nsema hodo ni bi a mampani ede atudwa no na afiye hu se de besi akana afani achire mu yeso ama omanfo ate ase yeko amayiko NDC mu a Chairman Bismarck Abobi Ayite oko ayawa so West Bogon amayiko NDC mu no opani na ojinemu de ma omosaka communication team no enso so ehom sanso so na yeko amayiko NPP mu a ro eko Vincent Asifua oko otafo abato mpesu aso a opani so na ejinemu de ama amayiko NPP ewo ho ono aso na oko aso ya omuhwengu mesua ho ensem so a yewure so na okasa de ma ompedi fo ayekado dia ensemre ebehye enkomo ase che memo kwa ba
mejo zo kwamra
boko de
Crystal
you fear
boko
NDC mu ayewaso for John Dumelo oshe
pa or from
that's right
eduma or from na it's ayewaso West Wogon de nyame ya adom a emrantie wo ho mbabawa ne ye maame no mo omu de to me ebehye wura John Dumelo nsa sana grounds on the day so wo Ghana fana nyina na ube register wa ya waso mesrew oba ora John Dumelo ni ora John Dramani Mahama
all right
only say ye constituency no ye register wie ye nya over 105,000
wow
o hwe JSS hahodo both public and private wo hona ora John Dumelo so ba one thing boy any secondary school or University of Ghana Jimpa ye ben UPSC pa ye were not for university or ras for university any afufure ka ho ye any secondary school and they was say etiminya secondary school near the feed these universities etini boshe baako oba empa ho
all right
empa ho entum from that because in Sisheye no it is done because John Dramani Mahama osi adan secondary school 200 we see piti Ghana hanyina ba ko pepe ba ya waso West Wogon yensa beka
me that's the Chairman Bismarck Abobi na eteno kano ora Vincent opani ye mwakwa ba
Korane mejo so
boko de
onyame de nenso acha na ye chen enra
that's right
de na se be mo twe jampo nyankopon wo empempen so wotimi e dia ba bedui ene e da edikan ya ye MPP amanyuku ye to ye primary we maba on a political show inti mefa kunya so na machia the good people of Otafo constituency minion mom wa himbronum mechia omo
all right
minion mom wo pankrono mechia omo minion mom wo santan mechia omo four corners 45 mechia omo omo wo estate pankrono estate mechia omo wa dompom mechia omo panyufo nso omo tete ba maso sisi omo hwe sa programming mechia obibia
all right
na ye de na se dia mo bibia ohwe ma sa dwumadi ekoso ene the new patriotic party at Alisa Hotel a press conference minim somebody yi ama ya hwe bibre no a clearly we are poised for victory once again
okay
and ye wo nidaso wo nyankopon mu osompa ya ba be som oman yi dwumadi ya ba be di since 2017 apamwa ye ne Ghana for koye that is a social contract that was signed between the people of Ghana and the NPP government no sa apam no minim say yetimi adi bibre so na Ghana for be hwesa apam no so no more as I renew the mandate of the new patriotic party led by His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
all right ora Vincent na yete no enkan Chairman chance en free ho enro anwumre omampani ekasaye emu sem ne de bibre Kutuka airport so much arrangement e cost $150 you better still kama na bibia e cost junior high school for to senior high school for to omo de omo ebeko October one maka no nyame adoma next year omo ebeko any other ensema hodo a mampani edit to dwa nti ma mintie we ensema mampani to dwa na say na osiju no
yo korane meda wase mechia yen ahwefo ne NDC Kuma, especially the flag bearer of the NDC,
right.
John Dramani Mahama, and Yamame, Professor Nana Jane Opoku.
Okay.
Ebe obia Misre Nyame Asumdwi, any Ahwanding Emawom. Yes, Kwabra, the fact of the matter is ye be ye border, especially the airport, because the other borders in the close to me fancy so much, ultimately far from Mumba. But we mu de ufa ubetimi ayede asa asani de eye ne ka wo mu ni se ewiase afa na nyina no UN hihye ne ade no ewiase afa na nyina de akonya anasa enyama gu kwan mu a ebebo ama ewiem akoni abadie no ebekoso enti no Ghana is no exception. It is a akonya na beda ho a ya akonya ewiase afa na nyina ewo ho amene wo kan say UK fo ya arrangement say nyame ya adomo a enani ochene ya obi pese o ye den oba ya de papa ya hwe say ye be ye ne ya ye ni especially the testing no the 30-minute testing no ye be ye ne ya ye ni ebinum so complain say $150 no e was so as compared to the other part of the world no e was so but the otina konwa so ono ye di ope because nana do de bia o se o ye consultation but all the nsem no be wi a yetimi hu say consultation no endimu okika enyama bebre a me de me yawom pa twa me sunu mu pa any private schools me ni akwabra asemu iba ye COVID-19 ye take decision up and down nyina no me kamia ye say Ora Matiopoku Prempe wajai private teachers is the JJ. There is nothing as a minister of education, you know, or ye edibua private teachers. Minkola or private school.
Okay.
Enti minim die koso. Adentina minu mi ni yetuo. Private school ni tuo. Teacher tuo, proprietor ni tuo otua. Ye di boy binim hoka. Ejuma one ho di aba from ye more stimulus package through
NBSSR.
Yes. Adentina private schools no any one teachers in the ya ja omo ejeje. Adena private teacher no need to away tuya no ye di bi tuya public teacher ka. Not a public sa private teacher no notifie onya di obedi. Yen kwala teachers etimi frɛw. O frɛw a otimi hu se o ye ni papa ubenya atinkama no di obedi kura onye bi because nipa no onye ejuma bi osori anopa private schools yo mutimi kwa anopa be 5:30 na ebi mu wo school obe pon be 7 ebi oni other job bi a oye adenti na wo say ye teacher for ni proprietors ni sa hwe above all decision na do take through Ministry of Education Dr. Matthew Poku Pempen say only second years
junior high school and senior high school
enye cost effective kura say JSS 1 ni betimi atrefie dia ene second year ni so ontrefie because the academic calendar na omunye epia say what you azie 2 for ni kwa kowie na wa jai 1 for next season above for teacher ni bi wo ho a o kire 1 2 3 say what you azie from 3 for we school e wo so ko kire from 1 and 2 usi sa teacher ni no nko school no nko kire only form 2 for ade no mrefie protocol e de begu akwemu ama JSS 2 ni secondary school first years no yet me for the same thing my first years no mo mu nko school ana because unim say I see wo mu nko no say private teachers no so wo mu ko say what you azie it is private teachers no so ko no say only second years no wo mu ko school fees o me charge no do you think say ebeboa mo mu di abo school no ho brama na ye no enti aban oye bibia ye wo umbrella body of the private schools no so also ye consultation no mo ye stakeholders in education because in education wo mo so ya tini pa kwabra baby wo ho obekọ ekurasi baby aban school ni ho ba obekọ na obi ati private school ho
yeah
ni facility kura na ndimu by sense aban si bi wo ho ntino enkwala akọ ho emma wo mo kosua ade wo ho so what did you me baje so by we ye janu mani traso obaka je say wa ko private school de na ye ko private secondary school dachi obetimi aka because private oba ye oni private schools endi ni ye time started double track ye ka che ni say private schools bi wo ho a facility o mo wo kra no e better than the public secondary school enti no yen so wo mu because the private sector is the engine of growth uja wo mo a there will be imbalance in the education sector abanye ntie ye en wo si free senior high obi anko en ye gu private secondary schools who cause it omu wo dan wo ho dormitories wo ho but obi anko en ye din kwala ni nyina ko peace o double track o rajo ndomani mahama so ba obi double track e free ho a omu koku abai so ba kura no wa anya hwe kura no free private schools in this country private secondary schools no see mu maye mu facilities ye beto bed egu mu hostel no mu ye be pa obi oba nu aduane amankwala no ye din kwala ba be gu ho a they will do it ye debate media and even private you double track if we don't go to even utilize even the day schools I see across the country no enti no mesre nana do aban ni consultancy endimu nyama ni bebe wo ha entro no mutwa so wo ye consultancy yie pa na ka private school wo mu nsu ema wo mu mbre up to now because there is no stakeholder obebo obeka je say jai ni teachers no who can say oradio ndamani mama e ka say ye contribute to senate asem we abai abai ususo ebinu mu asene public teachers no omuji o pay every day o unim za eti adenti na private teacher de onu tifie ye maniska nkola na o train wo mu no so no ye betimi anya minister wo ye betimi anya dachi president wo eti obra John Romani Mahama ka say yenko gu emra ye de ye senate hu adwuma no yengu mu kakra na yentimi emponies kan bi hu obi a open no betimi apply say me senator me contribute to you no me pe kakra bi say 200 cedis a month kra e be survive obi say what you say ye kan ya ban ya mpene e no mko share senate fo echi bawi edi e ka say enye yie na so ene e Japan royalty ti atimi kira one day e approve say senate source samra no mu a through Ministry of Education we did 3 days o metimi aye ema private teacher ni proprietors yo mu chiri wo mu obi a contribute to senate 15 years and over I betimi amanu even 300 cedis a month since March May. These are all things that so John Romani Mahama ba e wo say yetimi ye emra ye na ye chichiri ye se ekoya nim na emra na emwayen ya e wo say yetimi gunya memu na Ghana fo enye omu fa ahodie kakra. These are the things we are talking about. Me assure young Professor Nana Jenoboku was soon at the arch, was chira the yes watch on education. Me assure I mean, person make can be now, but before say a man who first obey PN or can be upper how we are going to handle these private teachers because you are taking bold decision now. COVID-19 the betimia equate yaw. Next yenim the betimi see e be afa teachers bio. Yenim eti as o man no e was say e koy yenim but me case so say owura Majoboku one more education sector. Especially with the private schools because all the say ya oye no e come here say onimpo say group of people bi a omo bu o ma yi kanko e wo adesuamu no e private schools we di omo hwiamo he should come back and tell the private teachers something before this election other than that omo ya sa no say the policy bi be bo omo say na omo akọ simpie so omo ntimi nye e na metie omo press conference no omo ya mesre Jise sebi nipa wajimi eno nsu ade as far as ayeti wiase ayenwu ye dan ni dia yesu ade eti obi eyemfumso owura John Romani Mahama so oba ni nyama osi obeye bia ene omu director of communication o ni bibia kanti ontimi nye ena na Ghana yetimi ye bibia na ka ye de wo mo baaye mimi sire Ghana fo so o hwem ye na anwumre na de ekoso wo mayi mu unyi ntumu a December 7th you have the option say anya ni sa na de ekoso kronu a ekoso eye Japan royalties PDS na manfo contract omudu shedders aseto any semua sem fata and tro wa oni say and tro no omudi hwe ukọ prisons e wo mi constituency Asin Chapel for be see water factory wo ho a mu producing so di ma yenuanu mu image omo da adede fiefo omo ye omo tracker no na do danko ni Dr. Baumia e di Asin Chapel omo water project no e di aba be she wo mu one day sweet one factory eno anya kro no enya atro eti sa nipa we want to abentia no na uja no na so ato abama na che se utimamuni a utie mi na nwubre no ufua so se nipa ntwa kowi ye mokro no ni enya boni nti o ma no eti unyi tum de ekoso we private sector teacher na unyi tum de ekoso na to abeti aban no obi ba obeye de wo so o beto
Chairman Bismarck Abobi and I think I went out 10 minutes. Oh, what are my also 10 minutes in here in the way.
My main JD Kaino and Shasi free say a higher betting. The general public nearby church room said, yeah, I'm a monoyede echo. We are here to educate rather than to throw propaganda out there. Sabi. Nso enyina mu die ntia meka sa die dikan Ednra His Excellency the President ene omamoni na ekasa no in fact that is his 16th address to the people of Ghana. Now two critical issues. Number one, he said odi kan ho asem no say nyame ya domu a ochena ye bie airport no you close for some time, which he used the executive instrument. He triggered that executive instrument to close it, and he has used the same executive instrument to also reopen it. Now, apart from that, Osaka Safa, the education sector, he directed the Minister of Education, so Onkofa Abajophobia, and as a committee, I'm advising the President as to how he be reopened and as he be supposed to. Until His Excellency the President take us on my say GSS 24 and SSS 24 so what it means is they have been allowed to go to school on the 5th of October and end somewhere December, and so they are going to be in school for about 10 good weeks. No matter almost so. Apart from that, Osa Emma Ghana who say for those who are falling within the category of the pre-tertiary education from nursery and from primary school and GSS 1 and SSS 1 for no almost no the train na January 2021 no to me ako school. So what it means is say abedwafo His Excellency the President, the Deputy Minister of Education, say Ntimasa abedwafo no advise the President no they are still in session, they are still working. That is the Professor Fobi led committee. Me advice of Mampenyin going forward as to how January 2021 to me ako school. One fancy hosa. One of the things also can and say the government is going to provide BBFN reusable nose mask. Before say obeko school hona kasano, we are going to do something at your friend of fumigation. Just a basic school hold na say the beer ya rebi or na say adebia M1 kodano, especially the students and the teachers themselves. No, to me a side in influence or more akusuku. Apart from that, we are also going to provide the Veronica buckets and sanitizers and all that. Students. So for the purposes of education, our foreign guardians are more share with you. As someone, His Excellency the President can run HSS so oba e wo nursery on kan omo aye bie no ho so oba e wo primary school on kan omo bie no ho ana oba wo GSS 1 ana SS1 so ono so nka ho nemum no omo GSS 2 ana SS2 for nebeko. Now with respect to the fact say said the best market kano abano eyinani and as abano punish private schools. It has been the position of the NDC for so long a time. Somebody sebi I can omo can bi o memuha. And I always say the very thing I consistent about the NDC are more inconsistencies, and I'll tell you why. Oshe o memuni nyina constitution and I'm rapon aboye nyina ho ban. It tells you specifically, so I can say you cannot use state fund to mean for a bicycle and find support any private businesses. So what it means is say private school a war Otafo constituency to say Noble Prince more any Ima, Great Imam and other schools no. A buying to me can say this shemu ama school ni peja because it is a profit oriented institution. Sabi school no proprietary school no say or school no de nyamfa so o de nyamfa so dia sa akoda no kotua school fees a co proprietary no ho as profit and I say as sika omo ye de enya wo school ho. Those things doesn't come to the government in any way, and government doesn't ask for any accountability. Abanu emuso accountable be and free private institutions ho. Now in instances whereby schools don't have challenges and you would want government to step in, which for the first time they be ameka emredi kan ya won say aban di nisika share private institutions mu private institutions no akwakoye sebio a profit oriented institution. It is because we are not in ordinary times.
Exactly.
And COVID-19 no actually say for the first time oko private schools across the country o mampania provided say ma akoda bia one hot meal. And what is Bismarck talking about? Nim dia worker one hot meal no, it is supposed to ensure say enkoda no difficulties are no mukom no yetumi aboa. Ordinarily the president is not supposed to be doing that, but because say out of the ordinary times and I say abnormal times here won into no o mampania making sure say yes ade no e dia aboa. So it is not true say your private institutions for and what have you. It is the responsibility of private unions, and as a private teachers, to engage the government. So we engage the Ghana Education Service, we engage government. That's a twice Ghana Education Service in the government. That is when we might think about the fact say be that as it may. MBSS I know at the buyer. It was also available for private institutions. Private institutions no more ho kwan so motivate me akwa apply to go and justify why also aban no so o masene in respect of their management of their schools. And it is a private institutions can say aban no ayi omani and all that. First and foremost I want to set the platform say enya aban no so die chinchine say yemfa esika measure private oriented businesses mu, because when there were profits government was nowhere to be found. However, somebody can also make the argument to say be nkwada no mo ho no nkwada omoye Ghana for nkwada or what have you, but it is the responsibility of the unions to make sure say omahwe sa no mani na mana. So enye ade bia ye adebone said the union no person omano eluku in the faces of the Ghanaian people no. Indeed, one of the things I'm person meka ema Ghana for united say the education sector as far as the Honorable Dr. Matopoku Prempe ye concerned dear that's what the form yetiasem yetiefutu in instances whereby we feel say the committee e dey nhyehyeye beba and nhyehyeye no be kire say ekwan we no say faso ekwan we ni kwan say faso, we will advise the president based on that. Na president so gitum a no so ababeye madia yi ni be adwuma as far as obe trigger the executive instrument or the soni omano Asia ntisa pepepe na opanyete
quick one na mu flow ato aso we be ka say wa bra covid ni ba mampani kasa say ombe so ankwankwa ase to because okay in a private school for no adena e fan say ka yankas mo omun group o mnaka nye special package bi do enye enemrem say sabat because of yare ne ba wan panyan kasa kan so ombe so ankwankwa ase na ka bi special bi confirm o mo too say esa hwe eni said there because private school any omo issues kakra ewu mu ya o hwe the number of nkofo a anasa nkwada a omo efa wo mo na o hwe say eni aso mako fi kakra aka special package bi bibi ni ministry am betima bibi sa hade ama wo mo kakra.
Medical culture say special package be or say kwa the responsibility of the leadership of the unions because this absolutely because minimum amount 2 or 2 and the extent of the engagement or my etumiako say if as we speak because maybe shall say it is same way no at the early stages of the outbreak of COVID-19, especially at the first month near unsa church for no more the various private schools in Tiebika me will teachers of waterful said your mama must want to say because they are working with the private schools the private schools are not able to pay them. So what it means in say though was it GSS2 for and I say SS2 for Nkosuku or Mokono, how are they going to be paid? Because already the schools are not liquid. In this liquid then what it means is they are going to have those challenges. Yes. And I mean to make a change and say, what are your leadership doing about it? Will leadership a dear power no more a dear farm? Because you see, schools need profit government was nowhere to be found.
Exactly.
government was nowhere to be found. We cannot even ask for accountability. We cannot ask for their books. Near to me, all the two books as whether say no matter cost no say ya the pioneer the pa. All that are binary concern is curriculum near the mono. Whether they follow those curriculum, the curricula or not, because and only as we of the district directors and as the regional director or some patam to ensure say those things are followed. Be that as it may, me say genuine concern, and those genuine concerns, you have to follow the right procedure. We shouldn't politicize it and make it look as if say ban washada and I said yes. In any case, Enra or Mampenye Kasano, he mentioned again, say GSS 49 or say Mobia one hot meal. Yanka say public school. And our private school for a year free. All of them are part of it. We are using state resources to be able to finance. And if you go to the schools right now, we also feed the teachers. The staff are also fed. Also in the private schools. And so Abobi should not sit here now on Tinahamani to say the Abanwe and he said private schools, as if you have not done anything for them. Whereas and Kodé was school a church for school, they are also benefiting from the goodies of the government.
Primary no, with my chamber had the
well, also no the prerogatives of the president. President no based on the advices and conform to no for Obama Mampanya taking those decisions. But on top of my mind, Mimi Hunu say issues of congestion. Share in Kwadanwa, omo next unit primary schools no. Omono adechre omono atenetene eno no edin chen obi asebi wanyini kakra na ne afia owo junior high school and senior high school. In that instance no sa akoda no ono atimi de ebo no ho ban kakra, but akoda wo nursery or primary school, it becomes very difficult say akoda no follow a certain kind of protocols. Enu ti na wo hwe omampanyin obi airport no kra wo say akoda owo between 0 and 5 no, that akoda no is not supposed to be tested. What it means is say omo no e different category. In the akoda wo be 5-6 years no, how are you going to ensure say nipa na follow the social distancing? O catch akoda say men no kra ho kra na okobọ ni nua na catch and say oh say ni, and all those things will happen in the various nurseries and as a primary schools. And these are some of the things they who say see ahwe near congestion baba and into mampanyi ka say even in senior high schools no class are more than 30 o mampanyi say on so. What it means is say more than 30 and I say more than 40. I was said the administration of the school will have to find a way a bit junior high schools in so more than 25. Or Mampenyin so the say because of congestion and for us to ensure social distancing, also making sure say classes in now and more than 25. So it clearly suggests say we could have allowed all the students to go back to school, that is GSS 1 and 2 and 3 even at the same time if they are to go back to school. But we realize that because of congestion issues in why don't we allow some of them to go, so that the committee, the Professor Phoebe-led committee will advise the government and by extension like the president for us to know say this is the right time for us to reopen school.
Papa record Vincent and yet and cannot chairman. Every kutuka the kakre o share and share. I listen to Dr. Koboy. Tesa my she be test no in delay bibia be koso wano but mate say this for be complain say 150 no a dorso mu hu no ma say
men ka say NDC for complaining
me say mate say NDC for be
NDC for kwan na tu kwan enya NDC for kwan na o mabusi
bi no
na me ka say o cancer ebinum kura na o de ahye ho no you are exaggerating it cancer Ghana for bi no chairman
NDC for Ghana for
say e yankobo utie ade bi enu won
when you politicize the issue when you the NDC what politicize
there is no way ankoma ye bi here you betima yi politics free mu amanyosem ne ye so at say because e binu ma menyere se maye bone wada roma enti uhu ni say o de ye ku yanim
enti ne kura ni say mi so bi sa o say wusu hu ni say ebuo na omoji no as compared to other part of the world. Yes, other part of the world no the omoji wo Ghana ha no ne boy edi
like which country
okoboy say certain tests bi o mo ba be ye sa rapid test we nya Ghana nkwa na ye bi
okay
do you me say country be ko Europe ko other part of other part of Africa na Congo mu nyina omo ye bi tie
omo ye na rapid as be Ghana no
yes say the boy edi obi na can say any boy because onye obi abotomu enye the same MPP for mo botom be different MDC for botom be different any boy di man NDC for ebinum say na o say kan na o mo kan o mo ji so o mo kan
okay
$150, you know. Say F Sadia, Nankamesre, say JSS for no mobile school. Woman, teachers, you know. So what he has at least, woman test woman. No one who say Mukuta negative result. Said the another workers will be obese or airport to be a so Kuta negative results for pass and as test because Omobeye Ama final year senior high for Nakon. Ye catch a woman. NDC COVID-19 Management Committee no catch woman say. Ye making sure that Kromu free busi who woman eba. And in the end test woman answer. Ye can no nanado ni na bank bu woman so buso. And almost Sandy said gold knows a bank of peace. And ye who ye. I am Colani being to me and more exams. I mean, you can say. It's no Mufa, a dear Guquemoa, a beboa, ma Nina, a call Mupe. May catch Mimia as if one. Yeah. So, our Ministry of Education. On himself committee, Nanado said, you move for more report to my own. So, I move for more report to my. I'll show you a quick one. And on my Penica Sino. So I say consultation because no say the so far the second there but also be BI or which my social to card there no me ni so my
went in one kan ho went in one kan
control challenge man say
control challenge
went
in one to man CP they na do here with the education sector no ad hoc
really who provide sanitizers
and
ad hoc not say
sanitizers no anchor no
say ad hoc not say COVID-19 anybody can until ad hoc na say no using rough
catch and say
o chase pa
catch and say
kan wa catch
TV so
yeah
enti no man ka sa hunti
o na say me
kan APP ni bi ni wo chen me wo kwa bi so
mate chema yen kwa
say what you say
yeah
me see measure audi to akwenwu no consultation and deal
okay
na consultation e di mu a na ko mudi nkola no ko gu secondary school for no call here o ma provide hand sanitizer o ma provide bucket o ma provide nose mask then na nkola ni bi nya ye bi no mu ya eti e ka asem a o mu ngiga na fo so adwin
it we alternative na ganye dey
alternative with respect to which
oni bi say you okay school dey waka want say
alternative na me say onu no dey wala criticize who can on tias here enti no make sure say nkola no ye better see won the say doctors kura still doctors in so say PPE kura enko enti no nkola no do o mu ko gu classroom no onye nhihye ya ebebo nkola no ho ban se na be ya mother bi elusu na kwala minu ya ne kasa no no kan bibi say aban sika yan fa so private sector asene
tell can no
oh
that's not what I said can you
me say Ghana mra wo ho aban sika yan fa so yi anchor class na so COVID-19 near to me tam Ghana sika di koma private sector insurance company we are all challenge na teacher for mu provide serious social intervention for us one more juma no private for na gino ya ban ejuma providing education no ya ban ejuma holistic
so me busa no e no ka senka omo for me to say union na
they are not aban no engage wo mu bibia mu pia na ogugu so obi ama omo aso 18 they are agitating no who the dako be phone lines na teacher for any proprietors influence na omo akose me see ebiru mu chite ye ma de ye nim problem omo wom ban betimi afa kwan bi so smart way bi ti say siniti die we na wo de unche omo kurapo a omo sweat na omo di akosie no omo ahoden na omo aponi bi di akoma siniti no ma omo kakra na nipa na owu ene asiniti one ebedi
okay
one ebedi enya ni dachi ntina dachi no ene ene eti ye besere aban no na on mre na so ase kakra ema akrenkre a wo mu so nye dai esan so wo mu achi ye COVID-19 o di boni hu safo ni hwe unim se loan na yakoje ye 1 billion eni hu kika hu no unim se teacher ni ya otifie ya onya di obedi dachi oba betua bi unim se ni ma be ba betua bi the same thing public teacher ni no so ye tua ni cassette ano onu so ni chirima ba betua bi ministers na yetu omuka etofu ema omu edi VAT ma omu no omu so be ba betu ebi eti adenti na wo punish teacher ni no eti boni so be be school fill the gap between the public and the private sector the public and private education na wo yes who good at hwe COVID-19 twemu a ebinum bebrebe gu omu school because omu hu say oman no endwire wo mu
Chairman Bismarck and yet no can open airport issue no man for issue be because you say check here $60 if you swak a UK there £145 near there as a Ghana full should be say a buy no monte so from our but still I'm so jam be amujina why
well medical can say we are not in ordinary times
okay
Omanpanyi ene na pam for tenase no ene ye say obi bia obi free amanoni aba no oba also making sure say you go through a certain kind of protocols and as a procedures and san why they what me free airport and one of the things cardinal very cardinal and they say obey BB no PCR testing now PCR no akwa BB no polymerized chain result na eno no say test wo hono mo within the few minutes and I say within about 30 minutes no e was say omutiminya or results near day etumi dem out eno na Ghana Health Service for amayati asese obi biara obeba no you have to make sure say one na obetua wa osika now it is not the case say wako hospital now wakwa your testing and as wako KCCR and now wako Kolebu and as wako University of Ghana now wakwa your testing yes ye charge this one it is made at the airport within 30 minutes near provide the amount so it is not
but say aban share
and I make a sure say so wako KCCR
yeah
na say you be a okutua na brabejo or results 3 days it is different from stand there and I say gina ho within 30 minutes neje
it's 30 minutes gina ho na je no e kan ho bi na ma ebo no ma
it's possible anything we use word be say rapid results testing if you like what I say and no say aban say wo ba Ghana nko dia wama all the international airlines are aware that as soon as you get here no there umpu you be your testing it is only for those who between 0 and 5 years omo na enyo testing omo na go through that processes no makwa kotua sika no nti we nya ade bi aye to say the oban person nya no the w aban aye testing for so long a time without charging anybody a person me ye everybody at the Ministry of Education went through COVID-19 test. I didn't pay a penny. I didn't pay a penny.
I'm Ghana for the day. I can move here to Kakrama womo. Na ke be ka foreigners ni kwa na kambe tuma. Anka you must be listening government. Mu timi nya bibiza.
Well, the me say omampanyin na pamfo etenase. Omotenase omodwene ho no. De na eyema oman no ene say ye beje $150. And no nye aban na agio. It is the institution KCCR for ne your friends the University of Ghana medical for so it is not the government that is charging those amount of money but I know say government has been the government has been hold on now you can't government now you can't government there you can't government no but the point is say enya dey be ya dey say kwakọ gisika bi say obi benya mfa so no I am cocksure that the government is not prioritizing this to get any profit or whatsoever from this now but issue of private school anybody will make that sound argument say teacher for there sebe omo chere nkwada there it is agreed but also unso hunu say because we are ruled by a nation that we believe in constitutionality of the 1992 constitution you cannot sit here and say chinchin emphasis can come at church for maybe Ochebienu one kasa
private sector no so they mo twa for two
the MBSSI has been made available for every private individual
private school
you cannot na dey na and shouting
for 500
menya adwuma MBSSI what I know
but so what bam
and you say have to know everything that is happening in every institution
but
I'm just saying is it also true say NBSSI we have given a number of loans to private Ghanaians. Is it true?
MPP private Ghanaians.
You're talking about education.
The point is that the enemy say MBSSI no e homa Ghana ni bia e homa every institution that you know say so now say indeed also aban so wase a aban betimi aso wase sa so I urge the private institutions so apply but you see the point is that MBSSI every private institution every
company na say chairman Besma Kabobi yet no enka right call visit as for and so yet no enka private school issues e be na address na ebu so mo say omoto anamo no ana omuntu na so mo call no ye mua wo mo ana say na citizens omo so omo ebe papa na afia history city community wo si akon ene afia du twumu ha na edeka say ne me admo chna e be say share e na mu nyina